Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, once again, and especially to our beautiful sisters out there. This is Trinity, and I am coming this evening with the topic the stereotype and misconception of the strong black woman. So, I'm a black woman as well. I've heard, you know, supposedly a compliment, that I'm a strong black woman. And I'm sure many sisters out there have heard, that you're a strong black woman. Maybe you're a single mother and you're doing well at raising your children by yourself without very little help. Maybe you're holding down a job um, and doing and multitasking with the home and business and finance and everything else. Or maybe you've accumulated a degree and you made it through, and so you're considered a strong black woman. Basically uh, defeating the odds that may have been stacked against you. Will get you a label of a strong black woman, and there's nothing wrong with being a strong black woman. So, a lot of times that's seen as a compliment, but there's also a I want to say an opposite side of the compliments of being a strong black woman. Um, and I want to say it's mislabeling all black women. Um, Sometimes black women have been labeled strong as if to say, hey, we can do it all on our own. You know, oh, don't worry about her. She's a strong black woman. She can handle it. She can lift this heavy object. She can work all the hours, be the mother and father of the children. You know, she's a strong black woman, doesn't need a man. She can do it all on her own. And, that's not always the case. I think that the label strong black woman was really forced upon us off of a lifestyle of having to survive. Um, you know, uh, Maybe not having a man around to take out the trash. So, you don't let the trash pile up. You take out the trash. Maybe you were married, or maybe, you've had children, and hey, someone's got to feed the children and put a roof over their head. It's not something that you necessarily want to do on your own, but you had to make choices um, that made you have to be strong or falter to the side, to the wayside. And don't get me wrong, we have a long line going back to ancient times. I mean, Cleopatra and Nefertiti, strong black queens that, ruled over empires and, were able to make peace treaties and, the power of the black woman, no doubt. But I find in today's society, within our own communities, I feel like we're being overburdened with so much as if to say, oh, she can handle it. She's a strong black woman. Okay, and that's just it. But that doesn't give us as black women to have room to be a lady, to be gentle. Okay, because I've heard a lot of brothers, in interviews on TV, even in the communities or whatever, say that black women are too strong. Okay, we don't know how to be women. But I want to challenge black men. Um, and I'm not saying this is all black men, but in order for a black woman to be a lady, she has to have room to practice her femininity. Okay? And this is not to promote hate on any other race, but I want to give you an example. Okay? I hear, some brothers, not all brothers, but some brothers say, white women are more feminine and, white women are more ladylike. And that's not to say all white women, but, I'm sure you've heard, a few black men or other races or people, period, say that, white women are more feminine and black women are more aggressive. Well, I want to go back to history a little bit. Okay, for the last maybe 100 years or less, white women have been working, especially in America. Okay, but even before then, and even up to now, white women, not all white women, but they've had their males in their family speak for them. I'm going to give you a couple of examples, okay? When a white woman is, some guy wants to date her, who usually answers the door to check out the man? It's their father, okay? So they don't have to do all this aggressive, standoffish behavior because they've had male brothers and fathers look out for them, okay? If a man wants to marry them, and it's not always about looking at what you see on TV, but it's just reality. They have fathers that are looking in on these men saying, hey, what are you doing with my daughter? So that gives the white woman a chance to be ladylike. I mean, she has to do her homework on the men as well. And I'm not saying this pertains to all white families, but they've had that more so than black women, okay? When a white woman, goes to look at a car or something, she doesn't have to spend time checking under the hood and so-called stepping in a man's position to question men. She has some type of male relative or someone there to check out the specs on the car to make sure it's not a defective car. So she gets to sit there, and look pretty, in the seat, in the waiting chair, waiting to see if, daddy says it's okay to get that car. Houses and whatnot, their relatives have passed down money to them or whatever. So they're not somewhere, really doing the things that, black women have had to do, which makes us look like we're aggressive. Okay, like we're just so authoritative and questioning men. We don't have, a lot of black women have not had that protection from a man, for a man to step in for us to say, hey, what are you doing with my black daughter? Do you plan on providing for my black daughter? What intentions do you have with my daughter? Okay, a lot of us are left out here to ask men these questions. So a lot of times we're left looking like we're over aggressive, okay, and that we're trying to emasculate men when that's just not the case with some of us, okay? And so, like I said, that gives white women a chance to be that feminine flower that society claims that black women lack. And I want to challenge the black man with his daughters, with the women or the woman or wife or your children's mothers that you claim that are the most important women in your life, your mother, to step up to that plate, okay? If you want black women to be feminine, if you want them to practice at being a lady, give them room to do so, okay? Don't put all the burden, responsibility, finances on your black women and expect them to feel like ladies at the end of the day. Okay? There should be no reason why, if you're not handicapped or have some type of impairment, that you're not sharing that load, okay, with your black woman. She should not be in the only one in the home working while you're sitting at home thinking that she's going to have this found respect for you as a man. It just doesn't go like that. I've heard a lot of, brothers say that, like, she acts like she's wearing the pants, or don't give her room to do so. It's not about being abusive, but it's about a man asserting his role in the home. You can't assert your role in the home, in the bedroom, sexually, and think that you can leave out the other components of what makes a man in a woman's eyes. And I'm saying all this to say that in order for black women to be able to have some ease Because I don't believe that every black woman just wants to be this superwoman, strong, tough, buff individual that society has painted us. And that brings me to another point. I want to get on to the birth of the strong black woman. Like I said, every time a black woman is left on her own with no male protection, no male supervision, and that definitely goes for the young ladies that are under 18. Okay, being left with no male supervision, protective male supervision. Okay, anytime a black woman is left to raise children on her own, to have that burden of how she's going to feed the children, what roof she's going to put over their head, employment, childcare, and all these things that are wrapped up together, that is what gives birth to the so-called strong black woman. Okay, every time that, you know, black women are put down, now we've already got us being put down in society, but every time a black man puts us down, every time a brother puts us down, derogatory names, and even exploiting black women for sex. So I'm not saying that black women are victims necessarily. They don't have any control over their own bodies. But as brothers, you got to stop lying to sisters, saying that you want a full-blown commitment in relationship with them and all you want is sex. I'm saying give that woman a chance to make that choice, because all what's happening is that's destroying the femininity of black women. Okay, and it's causing them to be stronger spiritually, not so much spiritually, but mentally. And I think that is, I think a lot of black men find that negative. It causes her to question men more, not to want to give them so much of a chance in a relationship. It makes her walls extra high, to where she's, very non-trusting, and there should be a boundary, or not a boundary, but a balance. There we go. There should be a balance in what you do and don't trust, of course. But what's happening is with black women is they've been hurt so bad and have been lied to, okay, by even the men in our own communities. Some of us, not all of us, but a lot of us have been hurt so bad that it causes the wall of protection to be up so high that it comes off as aggressive. Okay? So as brothers, I challenge you, to, treat the black woman, a little more softly. Okay? Don't rough her up. Okay? She's not a man. If you don't want a woman to act like a man, do not treat her like a man. Do not talk to her like one. And don't put all the responsibilities that you as a man should definitely have, and that a woman should share those responsibilities with you. Don't do that and act like she's going to still be a soft, gentle woman after working 20-hour shifts while you've worked none, perhaps. Okay, so I'm not saying this is with all black men. I'm sure there are plenty of black men that have jobs, but you know who these type of characters belong to. Okay, if the shoe fits, wear it. If it doesn't, that is good. We need more black men out here like you, and hopefully you can spread the word to other black men, that if they want more submissive, feminine, ladylike black women, take some of the burden off of her. Don't add it on to her. Okay? And this other part goes out to our black sisters as well. Being a strong black woman, though, is not being overbearing. Okay? It's not loud talking. It's not being boisterous. It's not being violent. Okay? Being a strong black woman is not having hatred toward men as well. Okay? So those things don't have anything to do with being a strong black woman. Okay? There is a way that as black women, we have to learn how to be feminine, okay, well spoken, and also have a softer tone. I'm not saying that you have to sound like Minnie Mouse, but definitely watch our tone as women, and also have that different side of us that, hey, if you mess with us, we'll get you. Okay, we'll put you in a chokehold. But one thing as black women we don't need to do, we don't need to walk around like that every day in society, okay? Rough and things of that nature. That needs to be put away and laid dormant just in case you need it to rise up out of you. Like if someone's trying to attack you, if someone's trying to take advantage of you, yeah, that side needs to come out, okay, to defend yourself. Whatever means necessary on how you have to. But like I said, being a strong woman does not have anything to do with being unladylike. So I'm hoping that we can come together, collaboratively as black men and black women, and we can work on these things, hand in hand. As black women, we can work on ourselves, okay, and we can promote a different viewpoint towards ourselves and toward the world, okay. And it's not necessarily about changing to conform to anyone else's standards, but it's all about evolving to a better way um, of how we value ourselves as women, okay. We're beautiful. You're beautiful. You're brilliant. And like I said, there's a way of being strong, without coming across aggressive, okay? And it was a pleasure talking to you all this evening. You have a beautiful, beautiful evening or day. And I'll talk to you another time. Till then, peace.